Hello, it is vlogging / editing Becky here. You'll notice I am in a completely different house, which is part of the reason that I have not been on here in a while. I wanted to introduce this video before I share it with you because it was actually filmed back in December last year. Moving house plus the other things I talk about in that video are why you haven't seen me in a little while. I really like this video as a concept and I would quite like to turn it into a series. It's called the Mending pile. The concept being that you go and get whatever needs fixing in your pile and we can sit and have a bit of a catch up. This might be talking about actual mending techniques or doing a Q&A if there are enough of you that are interested in that, but I would like to make it a thing and a thing that I do regularly. So without further ado, this is the slightly festive, slightly out of date episode 1 of the Mending pile. Enjoy. Hello, welcome back. Sorry it's been a hot minute. Again, last time I saw you was Halloween, I think. Welcome to the sofa. This is where we're going to be spending today. And happy December, last month of 2021. To be honest, it still feels like 2020, but it's about -1 outside, so I am not going anywhere that is not here today. It is December. Now, as many people have said to me recently, and I've said to many people, I don't know where November went. Last week I swear it was my birthday, and then one of the things that I really wanted to get done before the end of the year so that I don't have to add it to my 2022 goals is to get my mending pile sorted. There's a couple of things that I've looked at where I've realised this isn't a job for me, this is a job for a specialist, but there are definitely some things that I can tackle that then mean that I can wear certain things, including a massive sheepskin coat, which would be very useful in this weather. So what I thought I'd do today is I am going to talk you through my mending pile. We can have a little chat. And if you've got anything you also need to mend, we can sit and do it together. So, what's going to be the easiest thing first? Actually, before we get going properly, this video contains a couple of trigger warnings. One is for hospitalisation and health stuff. It was one of the things that was going on, and the other one is for talk about death and bereavement. So I will flash up a screen when those things are coming up in case you want to skip. Timings of those things are in the description underneath. So again, if you want to skip them, I completely understand. Easiest thing first is going to be my mending pile here. This skirt that I made with my granny a very long time ago now. It is a circle skirt, it has a waistband on it, it has a buttonhole, currently no button. So I've got my bag of buttons here. At some point I'll graduate to a tin. I think we're going to go for this pink one here. It nicely matches the pink in this. Definitely goes through the buttonhole, but I think it might be too small. What we'll do is we'll stitch it on and see. I had thread showing where this button came from, so we've got a good starting point. I've got my little teacup full of needles and pins, and then I've got beige thread. Well, I haven't got scissors. Yeah, start a mending video, don't get the equipment. Got my scissors. Committed a crime. I was using my sewing scissors, a pair of old sewing scissors, to trim my fringe this morning. You'll notice the fringe is new. My mum very kindly booked me a haircut back in October, and I fancied something a little bit different. I've always wanted a fringe, so I thought I'd try it. Now, we are still getting to grips with it a little bit. I really like it. It's a bit of fun. If I look at it in 10 years in photos and go, oh my god, what was I doing? What was I thinking? So be it. I've been putting this job off. I think this button fell off about 2 years ago. And I'm not going to lie, I have been wearing this skirt without the button. So I'm just going over and over the same spot to give the button a good base to sit in. And then we'll sew the button on. So how are you? I am somewhat concerned about the new COVID variant. Not thrilled that that is happening. I mentioned in my last video that I started a new job. I am still really enjoying it. It is a challenge. It looks like it's going to become more challenging pretty soon. It uses the same kind of muscles, academic muscles, as a degree, which I really like. It fulfills my need for a challenge, shall we say. What else is going on? I drove a car for the first time in probably about a year, yesterday, because I bought a car. The environmentalist in me is screaming because from an eco-friendly point of view, car is not a good thing. From a clinically vulnerable, because of COVID, with a clinically vulnerable family, the car means that we don't have to get on trains where people aren't wearing masks, because the UK is not great at that. It means that we can just drive home for Christmas, which is so exciting. Yes, I have bought myself a Fiat 500. It is, we live in a low emission zone, so it is low emissions, which is great. I don't have to pay. Sorry, how long did that take me? A minute? 2 minutes? There we go. And I have sewn it on a little bit wider because waistline has expanded slightly. Of course, with this kind of thing, if you then needed it a little bit tighter, button over here. Job done. So that is mending number 1 complete. Okay, job number 2. While we've still got this brown thread, actually, I would like to introduce you. Ooh, heck. Right. This coat is older than me by quite a stretch. This was my great-grandma's coat, and I've had it since I was about 16, and it's the warmest thing on this earth. This coat is probably from the 1960s, might even be earlier. It's by a company called Nurses. They're based in Norfolk, or they were. I don't know if they're still there. Now, the problem with this is it's got a little button at the top, and then it's got it had 3 big buttons. It now only has 2. And where the other button is, it's got a little bit worn away. But the top button here has actually got a hole in it. So my plan for this is a little bit more complex. I'm going to take the button off the bottom and move it up one so that I can wear the coat. And then with this one, we need to fix this hole, or at least shore up this hole, before reattaching the button. To quite simply cut this off, I'm going to go to Birmingham, the rag market, and get a replacement for the bottom one. Alternatively, what I had found is this little guy. He's a plastic version of these leather buttons, and it might work, but I think the hole's a little bit too big. But we'll put him in reserve. These are getting a little bit worn. What I would like to do, particularly on the back, is I've got some canvas here. It's pretty sturdy stuff, and it's just a little scrap. But what I'm going to do is just cut a little square like that, and then, because no one's going to see the inside of this as well, especially not when it's so cold that you need to be wearing something like this, just going to use this fabric as a bit of a shield. And then what I'm going to do, and this is something that's been done on the top button anyway, go for this little red one. I'm going to use this to fortify the back of it. I always got a little bit sad there, didn't I, a minute ago? I was thinking about Christmas, and this Christmas is going to be very strange because there are, as many people will have at the moment, a couple of people who are not here anymore, and my grandma, who was actually my great-grandma, died in December of 2019. She was 96, so it's not, you know, as they say, bad innings. She had very good innings, but it was still a surprise when she left. She died. I mean, it's good that she wasn't around for all of this pandemic stuff, because I don't think she would have lasted, but I haven't had a family Christmas. The last family Christmas I had was when she died. We had her funeral on the 27th of December. And then of course last year I was at my partner's parents' house, which was lovely, but I then missed having one last Christmas with my granny. Now, in terms of COVID, none of us were vaccinated. It was safer for me to stay away, and I know that, but it doesn't make things feel easier. And we haven't put the Christmas decorations out this year yet, but she sent a lot of Christmas decorations so that we could decorate this flat, have a lovely Christmas tree, and really go to town with it. So I'm not looking forward, well, I am looking forward to, it will be lovely to get the Christmas decorations out, but it's also going to be very emotional. And I'm a little bit apprehensive about doing it. So I'm just trying to make sure these buttons are so hardcore. I just want to make sure that the thread is equally hardcore. No. Ah, there we go. And then I'll come up to the camera and show you this one. Part 1. Done. Button moved. So, show you this. I'm hoping if I come in a little bit closer, you can see the button, that little metal bit just there. And then on the other side, we've got the fabric and the button just to reinforce it. So that's the first bit of this. The second bit is this one. So this one, it's got a bit loose and it's also got a hole around it. Okay. I think we're going to cut this off. That's what I think we're going to do. I'm going to cut this off. Oh dear, right. So this is a full-on, I can stick my finger through it hole. There's our bit of fabric. That's what we're putting underneath, and then we're going to mend the hole first. Where I live, we've got the Christmas market at the moment. I've put some pictures of it on my Instagram. And because it snowed here, yesterday I went to do my Christmas shopping in the snow, which I don't think I've ever been able to do before in the UK. Normally, it snows in February. It does not normally snow at this time of year. So that was a bit of a novelty. Managed to get my Christmas shopping done. 43 minutes flat. Oh, the other thing I should mention, the other thing I haven't really talked about. So I am starting to feel, and that's why you haven't seen me for a little while, a little bit better. We still haven't quite, I say we, the doctors, have still not quite worked out what went wrong. I can't say it wasn't alcohol or anything, but last month at the start of October, and I've mentioned this in a previous video, but I didn't really talk about it, so maybe now is a good time. I ended up in A&E, and then in hospital I was admitted. The days running up to, I had a temperature of like 39 degrees. At one point it was 40, and I had all over body aches, which I thought, well, maybe that's just fibromyalgia, maybe that's just normal for me. Maybe I'm having a flare up. This will just pass eventually. It didn't pass. It did not pass. I ended up in hospital. I phoned them on, I phoned 111 on Saturday night while I was actually at a 60th birthday party. I propped myself up, I put my makeup on. I was trying so hard not to let anyone down. So I propped myself at the end of this dinner table. I hadn't really managed to eat anything or drink anything. I was in so much pain. I was taking painkillers, but they weren't really even hitting it. And I phoned 111, which is like our advice service before you get to 999. And they said, oh, it's probably just a bug, you'll be fine. I'd been being sick. I had a fever. In reality, it could have been sepsis. Like, I should have gone to the hospital, but I didn't. But by the Monday, I was still feeling so unwell. I'd been feeling like that since the Wednesday before. So I went to the hospital, and I honestly thought they were going to say, you know, your tests have come back normal, we can't see anything, because normally that is what happens to me, is that I am in a lot of pain and they go, eh. But in this case, they actually admitted me at 11 o'clock at night on a Monday. I was in there for like 11 hours before they admitted me. After they admitted me, I was on a ward. Well, I was in a corridor. This is the state of British medical care at the moment. I was in a corridor that they couldn't turn the lights off, and I was in hospital for a week, just over a week. And they still don't know quite what was wrong with me, but my liver wasn't working. I've just had another load of tests run, having spent a month feeling like twingy and very, very anxious. And apparently it's all good. Apparently I'm fixed. And they just can't work out what's wrong with me. But that is incredibly scary. I mean, particularly because liver things run in my family and it's what my granny died of. So I've been feeling really rattled. Really rattled. It's really shaken my confidence in my own body. It's shaken my creativity. This is the first time I've actually done any sewing since that happened. And I'm sewing on a button, so it's starting small. Yeah, it was a wild ride. And I wouldn't recommend going to hospital, but I would recommend going if you need to, because that's what I didn't do. So I suppose the thing here is that people with chronic pain, they can push through a lot. We are absolute steel. Like, I can put makeup on and pretend to be okay, but okay, so buttons sewn on. I can now wear this coat again, which is great because it's really cold outside. And my third and final thing is quite simply going to be to sew a hook and eye back on these trousers, because there's still the hook, I just need an eye. It's as simple as that. And I haven't been able to wear these for months because what they do is they're so high-waisted that if you bend down and you haven't got that hook and eye at the top, they unzip all the way down your bum, which is a great look in public. And it has actually happened to me. I was wearing a long coat over the top, but I could just feel my trousers unzip, and I was like, oh no. I'm having to sort of waddle home with my trousers partially undone, falling off me. So, I'm going to go and get a hook. I am going to quickly sew that on. So I've got a little packet of these metal ones. It doesn't match, but it goes on the inside of my trousers. So what I'm going to do is just hook that through there like that, so that you've got the hook and the eye, and then do the zip up, which is jammed in the bottom of the trousers. There we go. Zip, position the hook and my thread and my scissors, which have vanished once more. Anyone else's flat turn into a health hazard when they're sewing? I think I need one of those giant magnets that helps you find your needles and pins. So that was all a bit grim. Let's talk about future projects, because they are happy and I'm not about medical things and not about death. Isn't my life fun at the moment? I'm thinking about doing a style evolution video. Please let me know if you'd like to see that. I realise that some people dressing vintage is a process. For some people they make a drastic change from one style to another, and I wanted to have a little look because I'm not sure which one I am. I think talking about how your style has evolved and continues to evolve is very, very interesting. You know, we're not fixed people. You don't have to dress the same way your entire life. I have a big Christmas project that I'm working on that if it's not ready for Christmas, it will be in the new year. So if you've got a project that you're particularly excited about or something you've been working on, let me know in the comments. And if you have a YouTube channel and you're actually filming those projects, please leave the link downstairs, because I would love to see it, and I'm sure lots of people in the comments would love to go and explore other videos. How are you getting on with your mending? How have you finished? I realise this video is probably quite long now. It takes longer depending on what you're doing at the same time. If I just sat down and did this, it would take 5 minutes. These would have taken 5 minutes, and I should not have put this off. Life gets busy. Mine has been, as you can tell, interesting. It's not always possible to do this in a timely manner. But I'm done. There we go. Hook eye. And that should stop us from unzipping in public. So that is a result. Oh my god, this hook is so hard. There we go, got it. Right, then knee clamp and zip. I hope that you've managed to at least get some of your mending done too. It was lovely to hang out with you. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you all again very, very soon. Let me know how you got on with your mending in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, and if you fancied sticking around, then feel free to subscribe. I don't upload regularly. You will know this if you've been on this channel for a little while. I do not upload regularly, but I do try. I love doing this, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you all with me, so thank you. In fact, actually, I'm going to go and try on the coat. So I will see you all very, very soon.